もちろんです。しばらく誰とも組まずにお返事を待つことにします。
He's being way too forward and happy. Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Classroom of the Elite Season 4 Episode 2 Contract and Payment. Last episode we met these new first years, Hosen and Nanase, who just showed up. Hosen is just being a bully, just like Ryuen is. And then Nanase stopped him by threatening him about revealing some kind of secret. And as she was leaving, she was sizing Ayanokoji up. And yeah, I'm like, uh, she could be the assassin from the White Room, but I just feel like she's a red herring and that it may be somebody else. I guess we'll see. Is there anything else? Yeah, whatever. That's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmeaning, where you can find all my full lengths and early access and stuff. So let's start this episode, and here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comments in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
もしかして櫛田先輩ですか？僕ですよ。同じ中学の後輩だった八神拓也です。
Oh, he was also on the thumbnail. He was so smart.
知ってるのか。櫛田と同じ中学だったろ。
さあ、知らないよね。
Or is he the assassin?
櫛田の過去のこと、八神は知ってるのか。
知っていても不思議じゃないわね。
僕と特別試験のパートナーを組んでくれませんか？もっ
と勉強のできる人と組んだ方が。
右も左もわからないですから。
少しだけ考えさせてくれるかな。
もちろんです。しばらく誰とも組まずにお返事を待つことにします。
He's being way too forward and happy. I feel like he's the. I feel like he's the assassin. Because when you look at the thumbnail for this season, you see Nanase and then you see him. And before I even knew about the season or whatever, like when I first saw the picture in the previous episode, I'm like, that dude looks like Ayanokouji, but he's smiling. And Ayanokoji doesn't smile like that. Okay. And then he shows up, he's trying to buddy up with Kushida, and then they're saying that he's smart. I know Ayanokoji has been in the White Room since his birth, right? And this guy is telling Kushida that they were in middle school together or something. He was a year behind. Could that be a lie? And Kushida is just like acting like, oh, maybe we know each other or something. You know how you fake like you know someone even though you don't know them? I don't know. My money is on him being the assassin. Then Nanase. But we'll see.
こっちは真剣にパートナー探ししてんのによ。
1年前の自分をもう忘れたの？
別に忘れてねえよ。
少しいいかしら。私たち今度の特別試験のパートナーを探しているの。差し当たってこの須藤君と組んでほしいのだけれど。
じゃあこれでどうですか？やめてくださいよ。5万じゃなくて50万ですよ。
Huh?
50万。
同じ D クラスの生徒を何人か紹介してもらえない？
勝手なことするとホーセン君に怒られちゃうだろうし。なあ。
Okay. So I guess Hosen is sort of like the Ryuen of what C? I don't know.
ペアが組めないペナルティを恐れているのは2年生。
Mm-hmm.
ホーセン君は それを武器にポイントをむしり取れると考えているのよ。マネーゲームに参加するつもりはないわ。仮に1位になっても得られるクラスポイントは50
万で1人引き抜けるとして5人引き込んだ時点で赤が出る。
だからここで無理にポイントを投入すべきじゃないと考えとはいえ、ホーセン君のクラスだけを頼みにするのはリスクが高い。
優秀なパートナーをお探しならここにいるけど。
Was she the one that was singing?
私は1年 A クラスの天沢一花。学力は A 判定なんだよね。よかったら組んであげよっか。須藤先輩の学力は E プラスか。ま、協力してあげなくもね。
But what do you want?
強い男の人が好きなんだよね。
一体何の話？
強い人を募集して殴り合いとかしてさ。
What?
一番強かった人とパートナー組んで。
So she wants a brawl?
そんなことできるわけないでしょ。
どうして？私は真剣だよ。強い男の人が好きなの。
These people are crazy.
俺たちからかわれてんだよ。
どうやらそのようね。
勝った。別のチャンスをあげるから許してよ。
チャンス？
リクエストした料理を美味しく作ってくれたら組んであげるよ。
手料理？
綾小路くん、確かあなた料理が得意だって私に自慢してたわよね。
ああ。
So is he gonna take Sudo?
この綾小路くんでどうかしら。
いいけど本当に得意なのかな。強いて料理を振る舞ってもらえないなら今回の話はなしってことで。
頼むぜ、綾小路。お前の料理の腕で。
I thought she wanted Sudo to cook, but I guess it doesn't really matter as long as it's made by a man.
分かってると思うが、俺の料理の腕は。
今は黙って作戦考えるから。
So he doesn't really have cooking skills?
おはようございます。綾小路先輩。先日はホーセン君が失礼なことをしてごめんなさい。
What do you want?
正しく学力も高い。これでなぜ D クラスなのか。それに気がかりなのは
Mm-hmm.
あの時の眼差し。
Yep.
もしよかったら D クラス同士協力し合ってパートナーを探し合わないか。
それは私も賛成です。ただ一つ問題が。
Hosen?
ホーセンのことか。ホーセンに対して卑屈な感じはなかったな。
私は暴力には絶対屈しませんか。
Right. Or you have something over him.
クラスの方針を決めるのがホーセンならさっきの話は難しそうだな。
協力の場を私がセッティングしてみましょうか。
と堀北も喜ぶと思う。
堀北先輩がクラスのリーダーなんですか。
ああ。
あなたにしては随分と思い切ったアプローチをしたのね。
まずかったか。
いいえ、保険として1年 B クラスの一部と協力関係を作れないか話し合っているところよ。
B クラスといえば
志田さんは昨日八神くんとパートナーを組んだ。
うん
彼を通して水面下で交渉をしてもらっているところよ。
Hey, did you trust Kushida?
まずはまな板でしょ。包丁でしょ。
料理道具なら俺の部屋にもある。
いいのいいの。私専用に買い揃えても。
Is she the one buying it? Or is Ayanokouji gonna be the one paying for it?
一応聞きたいんだが支払いは。
Exactly.
小路先輩に決まってるじゃん。やだな。
作っている間ゆっくりくつろいでいてくれ。
ありがとう先輩。あ、携帯で調べながら作るのは反則だからね。先輩に作ってもらう料理はトムヤムくんです。
I don't know what that
トム
is.
ヤムくんか。
話は聞こえていたわ。まさかトムヤムくんとはね。
手順の指示を頼む。
ナイフの使い方は昨日教えた通りよ。
さて一朝一夕でどこまでうまくいくか。
わあ、すごいすごい。見た目は合格ってことで。
He gonna taste good? I feel like if it's from Ayanokoji, he's a genius. I don't know, but is he a genius at cooking?
パクチーいけるかも。あ、リンゴのうさぎ。
I guess it tasted good.
先輩のトムヤムくんはまずまず の9大点だったから。
こっちでやるぞ。
いいの無理聞いてもらったし、これくらいやらせて。
そうか。
いろいろ高いものも買わせちゃったし、今回は先輩の努力に免じて須藤先輩と組んであげる。
感謝する。
またね、綾小路先輩。バイバーイ。お疲れ様。
もし天沢がホワイトルームの人間なら何か仕掛けてきていてもおかしくないが、何より天沢は俺じゃなく須藤とペアを組んだ。
私たちが声かけてる生徒のところにまた C クラスから誘いがあったみたい。しかも A クラスの誘いを蹴ったら1万ポイント進呈。
1年生に伝えてください。龍炎くんと同学を用意する準備があると。龍炎くん、あなたの戦略は私にとってはむしろ好都合ですよ。ですが、私たちと張り合って同じ生徒を狙い続けているのは明らかな失策です。買収の提案だけなら無一文でもできます。
お金があるふりってこと？
龍炎くんがいなければ、私たちは A クラスのブランド力だけで多くの優等生を引き入れられます。そして次にやることは、額を釣り上げ、できる限り私たちに巨額のポイントを使わせることです。
20万で釣ってた B クラスの1年が保留を提示してきたみたいです。
前金10万、試験後に20万出すといえ。
マジですか？
それ私たちが自爆して終わるってオチじゃないの？仮に同額勝負になったらブランド力で負けるでしょ。
俺がやろうとしてるのは今年の1年にどんな人間がいるのか見極めることさ。 A クラスをぶち殺すにはもっとクラスポイントが激しく増減するタイミングを待つしかないからな。
C クラスの方は順調なのか？
いろいろと動いているようです。
ホーセン君がどう出てくるかが問題ね。
ああ、この場に現れるかどうかでも大きく変わってきそうだ。
早速だけど、私が今日お願いしたいのはポイントを払っての契約とは違うものなの。理解した上で来てくれたということは交渉の余地はあるということね。
ホーセン君の考え方の根底には徹底した個人主義があります。ですが本当に嫌なのは、今後もそんな個人主義が先行してしまい、クラスにまとまりが持てなくなってしまうことです。だからこそ私はクラスのために独断でこの交渉に臨んでいます。
Even if you take the negotiation, I don't know.
1年 D クラスに現在パートナー探しで苦労している生徒はどれくらいいるのかしら。
現時点では15人近くいます。
私と七瀬さんでその15組のパートナーの組み合わせを決めて一斉に成立させてしまえればと思っているの。
無償で手助けすることをホーセン君は絶対に認めないです。
But what's the point of?
なるほどな、そういうことか。ホーセンの考えについて一つだけ分かったことがある。
You know what I just realized? I'm looking at the outro and I'm like, why are they posing it like so sexually and everything? And then I remembered the first season of this show, the way they were focusing on the girls, their butts, their breasts, and all of that. I'm like, it was getting on my nerves. And I just realized that they stopped doing that a long time ago, or I would have kept. Damn. Or I would have kept mentioning it. Okay. Okay. Why are y'all turning to skeletons? Yeah. So if they had kept doing that, I think I would have. It wouldn't have escaped my mind. It's only this outro that's reminding me of it. Because I'm like, why are they posing so sexually? Like, what's up with this? Like the outro, the music itself is like, smooth and all of that. And then you see the images and it's like, huh? And then I remembered them doing that during the first season. I'm like, ugh, okay, whatever. And the later seasons, we didn't see any of that. Or even if they did, it wasn't prominent enough for me to notice, you know. But then I'll just start out talking, and then I see Ayanokouji in the chair, and then the women around him, and I'm like, whoop, okay, okay. What did Ayanokoji figure out about Hosen? My mind is not there. I don't know. The thing is, he is trying to get people to pay him or the class for partnering up with the second years. But the number of points that he's asking for is too much. Like 500,000? Are you for real? Okay. And so, excuse me. When Nanase was like, okay, let's have some kind of. No. Well, Nanase approached Ayanokoji at first, and she's like, she's apologizing for what happened with Hosen and acting all sort of like meek and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm seeing you with a side eye, especially after the way she was sizing Ayanokoji up the previous episode. And then I think it was Ayanokoji that wanted to set up some kind of meeting between both classes to discuss some kind of alliance and everything. And she's like, okay, but she doesn't think that Hosen will agree. But then Ayanokoji is like, but are you still willing or something or other? And she's like, yeah, they were gonna set it up. And then Ayanokoji is like, okay, I will tell Horikita about it. And she's like, oh, so is Horikita your class leader? And he's like, yes. I don't know. That question in itself is like, okay, she's assuming that Ayanokoji is the class leader. And then to see Ayanokoji sort of like defer a little bit to Horikita, she's like, oh, okay, so you're not actually the leader of the class? You know? I don't know. And then when they were actually showed up to the meeting, and she's there with that Hosen, and then they were talking about setting up an alliance. Like you have Horikita ask her how many of the students in their class that haven't paired up with anybody yet, and she's like 15 of them. And then Horikita wanted to basically have an alliance where they can meet up their 15 people that she's talking about. And I'm like, you're having all this discussion, but then it's like she's saying everything that they're talking about. She's like, okay, Hosen will not agree. And I'm like, okay, so if Hosen is, I guess, the leader of the class and he's not gonna agree to any of this that you guys are talking about, so what's even the point of you guys meeting over here? If it's not gonna be, if Hosen is has the final say, and he's not gonna agree, so what's the point of this meeting? You know, I was asking myself that. But then again, I'm like, Nanase knows something about Hosen. And that's what he used to defuse the situation in the first place, in the first episode. So it's like, is Nanase actually the one that's like, if you have something over Hosen's supposed to be this person that everyone is afraid of or whatever in the class, right? But then you have something over him that makes you have more power, right, over Hosen. So is she just like acting all meek and whatnot, and I can't do anything without Hosen? Hosen will not like it. But like, you know. And then what did Ayanokoji figure out about Hosen and the way he works? I don't know, but it's still cool to see him figure things out, and you know, he's so smart. Now you have this student, Yagami something, that approached Kushida, and he's like, let's team up. And I'm like, you see the thumbnail, you see Nanase, and then you see Yagami, right? And I'm like, okay, one of them is gonna be the assassin. And I'm leaning towards Yagami more than Nanase. Because like I said, I feel like Nanase is a red herring and that is somebody else. And then when you look at Yagami, he's clearly younger than Ayanokoji. He looks more like Ayanokoji. He looks like Ayanokoji a little bit. Same kind of hair, color, and you know, even their faces. It's a little bit similar, or a lot similar in the way, but their personalities are the complete opposite. Ayanokoji is cold. He's more outgoing, you know. And then I'm looking at I'm remembering the first episode when the assassin was it felt like he was angry as he was looking at Ayanokoji's picture, and Tsukishiro was like, "What? Do you not agree with this or something or other?" And he was angry, and I'm like, "Okay, you're seeing this." Sort of like older version. Like if you were to put up Yagami and then you were to put up Ayanokoji together in the same frame. Ayanokoji is sort of like an older version of um, Yagami, but with more coldness, right? And then you have, I'm assuming that Yagami is the assassin. I'm just imagining him being constantly, they look alike, and then he's being constantly compared to Ayanokuji, who's the golden boy of the White Room, who's the master chef. I don't think that works. Uh, I don't know what I'm looking for. But he's considered to be the best that came out of the White Room, right? So you're constantly being compared to him. You're gonna develop some kind of you're gonna be angry, I guess. And then Tsukishiro told the White Room, the White Room, the White Room assassin about all the students, right? Kushida is among them. And we know that Kushida doesn't like Ayanokoji and Horikita. So if this Yagami person is the white assassin, of course he's gonna want to team up with Horikita. Not Horikita. Oh my goodness. I just said her name. Kushida. Okay. Of course he's gonna want to team up with her. But then I'm like, okay, Ayanokoji did say that should he team up with the White Room assassin, then that would be it for him. But I feel like this White Room assassin doesn't want to defeat Ayanokoji that easily, doesn't want to pair up with him that easily and then bring his grade down and then he gets expelled. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to display his intelligence over Ayanokoji's, and in order to do that, he doesn't want to just get rid of him that quickly, So him pairing up with somebody else is gonna mask his identity also a little bit, and then he's gonna use his intellect or whatever that he acquired out of the White Room against Ayanokoji and prove that he's the superior being out of both of them. That's what I'm thinking. And that's why I'm like, the assassin is not going to pair up with Ayanokoji right out of the gate. And that's why I'm saying that I feel like Yagami is the White Room assassin. But I guess time will tell. They also introduced this character, Ichika Amasawa. They've been trying to find someone to pair up with Sudo. And then this girl approached them, Ichika approached them, and she's like, I like strong men, and I'll pair up with you. But then the way she was talking, it's like she has a whole bunch of strongmen, I guess, interested in pairing up with her, and she wants to see who's the strongest out of all of them. So it's like you're assuming that she's wanting to see some kind of brawl and see who comes out of top, and then the person that comes out of top is gonna be pairing up with her. And I'm like, nah, that's not happening. And they were about to leave, and then she's like, okay, I also love men who like to cook. And then she wants them to cook for her and all of that. And Horikita was like, first off, Sudo doesn't know how to cook. And then Horikita is like, Ayanokoji, you told me you know how to cook, right? Or something or other. I don't remember that scene. I'm like, maybe he did say that and I don't remember. And Ayanokoji is so good at so many things that I'm like, okay, maybe he's also excellent at cooking. But no. He's not. He had to learn how to use the utensils and all that from Horikita. We didn't see that happen on screen, but that happened. And then this girl takes him shopping in order to buy utensils. And I'm like, why are we buying these? He already has stuff at his place. But she's like, oh, I only want you to use this to cook for me or something or other. And when they go to his room, she's like, don't be looking at your phone. He leaves his phone there. And then he goes into the kitchen. He had an earpiece in his head, in his ear. And then he was being guided by Horikita into cooking. And when the girl ate it, he's like, hey, it's decent. And she's like, okay, I'll pair up with you. I don't know why I assume. Because Ayanokoji is so good at so many things that even though he was being guided into cooking this thing, you know, it was his first time cooking it, right? And Horikita is guiding him. I was assuming because he's so good at the stuff that the food was gonna be this delicious, beyond delicious kind of food, but no. Which it makes sense, you know. You're not gonna just start cooking and then cook something extraordinary out of the gate, like just like that, you know. That's gonna come with time and practice and stuff. So it makes sense. And after she left, his phone was on the bed, right? And then he's like, if she was from the right room, that she would have put something in his room, some kind of device or whatever, and he was checking under the desk and whatnot to find something. And I saw the phone there. I'm like, could she have put something in the phone? Downloaded something? I don't know. Put some kind of tracking device in his phone. Like while he was in the kitchen cooking and everything, she could have like opened the phone and added something and then closed it back up and then left it on the bed. You know? Like, I don't know. You can't trust anybody in this show, man. You can't trust anybody. I will hope that with the way Ayanokoji is being suspicious of her and checking under to see if she left anything, that with his phone having been in her possession all this while, that he would check it as well to see that it hasn't been tampered with or anything. But I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking way too much into it. And she was just there watching TV while he cooked, and then she ate and then washed the plate and then left. And nothing else happened. But I don't know. You can't be sure with these people. Is there anything else? Ryuen and Sakayanagi were doing some kind of moves. They were making some kind of moves that I'm like, I'm not sure that I fully understand what exactly they're doing. Ryuen is trying to bribe these first years into, I'm guessing, teaming up with them or something. And then you had Sakayanagi also there that's like, okay, let's up the price, but then we're not actually gonna set up like sign any contract with them, and that we really want to try to get them to use their points, and I don't know. I didn't get it. Let me be frank. I didn't get what the game was between Ryuen and Sakayanagi here. I know they were going against each other and trying to approach these first years, and then they're like they're not necessarily gonna be paying them anything and something or other, but it's like I didn't get it. Sorry. I didn't get it. I didn't get what they were doing. Yeah. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous Classroom of the Elite reactions. There's a link in the playlist as well. In the playlist, in the comment as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Never give up even if the night should fall. Always do my best. I look in the mirror, the king.